Hey guys, tonight we begin in that tender, hazy moment when your alarm goes off and your brain is still somewhere between dreamland and reality. You fumble for your phone, eyes barely open, wondering what year it is. You stretch like a cat that's been sunbathing all afternoon and let out a groan that could probably be translated as, "Do I really need to be alive right now?" So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And while you're at it, drop your city and local time in the comments. I'd love to know where in the world you're listening from. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into night's journey together. You roll out of bed and shuffle to the bathroom. Your mind isn't exactly forming full sentences yet, but tonight we'll train it anyway. You look at yourself in the mirror and mutter, "Good morning." That's step one. Even a groggy "mornin'" counts. English learners often skip this tiny ritual, but it's gold for pronunciation practice. Next, you pick up your toothbrush. "Time to brush my teeth," you say softly to yourself. Simple present tense. You don't need to be poetic here. Nobody says, "I shall cleanse my enamel." Just keep it real. I brush my teeth, I rinse my mouth. Done. As you shuffle back into your room, you throw open the curtains and say, "The sun is up." Even if it's cloudy, even if it's 5 a.m. and still pitch black, say it anyway. Convince your brain that you are a cheerful morning person, even if your soul is still asleep. And now comes the most dramatic part of the morning, choosing what to wear. English phrases come flying at you like a fashion montage in a teen movie. "This shirt looks good." "These pants are too tight." "I can't find my socks." "I just washed them." Classic lines. Clothes-related vocab is fun, especially when paired with panic. Try saying, "Where's my favorite hoodie?" or "I hate all my outfits." Sprinkle a little flair in there. I look like a potato." Congratulations, you've just added food metaphors to your language skills. Now, imagine this. You're trying to tie your shoes, half awake, and you mutter, "Come on, you've got this." That's a pep talk in English. It's what athletes say before a big game or what you whisper before a Zoom call. Let's go. Focus. You can do it. Put those in your morning script. Say them like you mean it. Let's zoom out for a second. Did you know that the phrase "rise and shine" has military origins? Yeah, soldiers were ordered to rise and shine to wake up fast and polish their boots. Historians still argue whether the shine meant sunlight or literal shoe shine. Either way, it's now what moms yell at sleepy kids. English is weird like that. Speaking of weird, here's a French fact. In Victorian England, people didn't wake up with alarms. They hired knocker-uppers, folks who tapped on your window with a long stick or shot peas through a straw to wake you up. No joke. Imagine trying to say, "Could you knock me up at 7?" in today's slang. Yeah, don't. Back to the present, you're dressed, maybe still yawning, and it's time to eat something. But wait, before breakfast comes one of the most powerful phrases in English learning. I am ready. Go ahead, say it, out loud, even if you're lying to yourself. I am ready. I am awake. I am going to do my best today. This is more than English. This is a ritual, a habit, a subtle reprogramming of your brain. Each morning, your words shape your mindset. The more you say them, the more real they feel. Repetition builds fluency, not just in language, but in belief. And if you're ever tempted to stay silent in the morning because you're not fluent yet, remind yourself babies babble for years before saying anything useful. You, my friend, are doing just fine. Before we close this first section, let's slip in a quick challenge. Tomorrow morning, try narrating your routine in English. Out loud, in a whisper, or even just in your head. I get up, I brush my teeth, I make coffee, I feel like a zombie. Keep it simple, keep it human, keep it weird. You walk into the kitchen, still half dreaming, and your stomach lets out a growl that could register on a seismograph. It's breakfast time. But before you decide between toast, cereal, or pretending coffee is a meal, you start speaking, yes, out loud. You open the fridge and say, "What should I eat?" A beginner phrase, but don't underestimate it. That innocent question packs grammar, tone, and real-life usefulness all in one bite. Bonus points if you say it with some dramatic flair, like you're starring in a cooking show for one. As you pull out the milk, another golden line. Is this still good? It's a universal experience, sniffing something questionable and playing dairy roulette. You say, smells okay, or better not risk it. You don't just practice English, you survive it. Sitting down with a bowl of cereal, or let's be honest, 2 dry crackers and a dream, you can start practicing opinion phrases. This is delicious. This tastes weird. I made this. Even if it's just microwaved oatmeal, you made it. Own it. And here's your fringe fact of the day. The first cereal was invented by accident. In 1894, John Harvey Kellogg left boiled wheat sitting out too long, and it went stale. When he rolled it out, it flaked, hence cornflakes. Historians still argue whether this was genius or just laziness rewarded by fate. Either way, breakfast hasn't been the same since. You sip your coffee, and the warmth starts to wake up your inner monologue. Now's a good time to test the speed of your English thinking. Try this internal commentary. This is hot. I love coffee. I need more sleep. Again, simple, but fluent simplicity is better than complicated silence. You look at your phone while chewing. Let's check the news. That's another functional phrase. Even if all you do is scroll memes, say it. Let's check the weather. Let's see what's new. These are sentence starters that make you sound like a real human. Also, for those of you learning English with a family or roommate nearby, here's a cheeky line. Don't talk to me until I've had coffee. It's a common joke in English-speaking countries. Some people even have mugs that say it. Go ahead, use it, even if you're drinking tea. Now let's sprinkle in some daily breakfast vocabulary. Bread, butter, eggs, juice, cereal, spoon, fork. You can say, I need a spoon, or where's the butter? Ask your kitchen like it owes you answers. And don't forget our 3 light jokes per section rule. Ready? Coffee, because adulting without it is basically illegal. Breakfast is the most important meal you'll forget to eat properly. If your toast looks like a burnt offering, congratulations, you're officially cooking. Let's turn up the difficulty a little. Try describing your food. This egg is soft. My toast is crunchy. This juice is cold and sweet. Adding just one adjective helps you practice both speaking and thinking in English. Here's a fun activity for advanced beginners. Pretend you're reviewing your breakfast like a food critic. Say something ridiculous like, the subtle dryness of this cereal echoes the emotional state of my Mondays. Or, the toast was charred to perfection with hints of existential dread. Is it useful? Maybe not. Is it fun? Absolutely. And fun makes learning stick. And now, let's go fringe again. Did you know ancient Egyptians had breakfast beer? Yup, their morning meals sometimes included low-alcohol beer and onions. Not exactly Cheerios, but hey, you do you. Historians still debate whether this was daily routine or special occasion indulgence. Either way, mornings have been chaotic since 2000 BC. Back to you now. The table is cleared, the coffee cup is empty, and you're starting to feel, what's the word? Alive. So here's your power phrase for today. I'm ready to face the day. Say it with confidence. Say it even if you don't mean it yet. English isn't just about grammar, it's about attitude. Now, before we move on, let's do a rapid-fire breakfast vocabulary quiz. Answer these out loud. What do you use to eat cereal? What do you drink in the morning? How do you say trung in English? What's the opposite of hot? If you answered spoon, coffee, egg, and cold, you nailed it. If not, no worries. Just rewind and try again tomorrow. Every word you speak, even in a tired mumble, is a step forward. Even your breakfast thoughts can be training. So keep narrating, keep experimenting, keep talking. You're not just learning English, you're living in it.
You glance at the clock. Uh-oh, you're late. Again. This is where your English practice really picks up speed. Because nothing teaches vocabulary faster than a mild panic. You bolt to your room, muttering to yourself, okay, I can do this. First up, dressing phrases. You throw on a shirt and say, this will have to do. The jeans from yesterday? Still clean enough. Socks? Where are my socks? Classic daily dialogue. And don't forget that eternal English gem. I have nothing to wear. Spoiler, you do. You just don't like any of it. Now you're brushing your hair while hopping into shoes. Time for multitasking vocabulary. I'm getting ready. I'm almost done. 5 more minutes. Use them like spells to summon extra time. Let's drop a mainstream historical fact here. Did you know zippers didn't become popular until the 1930s? Before that, people used buttons. So if your pants are stuck this morning, just be glad you weren't born in the Victorian era, where getting dressed took half an hour and help from a maid. Historians still argue whether the delay was due to fashion or just showing off how much time they had. Meanwhile, you're standing in front of the mirror. You look at yourself and say, you got this. That's a pep line. Always have a few ready. I look fine. I'm ready for today. Even if you're wearing mismatched socks and your shirt is inside out, say it with confidence. Now let's add some expressions related to time. These are useful in any language, but gold in English. I'm running late. I'll be there soon. It's already 8:30. Say them aloud as you rush out the door. Here's a quirky tidbit. In Japan, some schools give students badges that say, I woke up late. It's part joke, part honesty. Imagine wearing one that says, I overslept, don't judge me. Not a bad idea for language learners, too. Back to your rush. You're tying your shoes while texting. You type, on my way. It's short, casual, and perfect for a last-minute excuse. Say it with me. Sorry, running late. Again, totally believable, especially with the right tone of voice and a slightly guilty smile. You swing your bag over your shoulder and head out. Another great phrase, let's go. This one works for every situation, from catching a bus to starting a heist. Not recommended. It's energetic, motivational, and very, very English. You walk outside and the world feels loud. Birds, cars, life. This is your audio playground now. You repeat to yourself, I'm walking. I'm going to work. I'm ready. Simple narration. Just describe what you're doing in real time. It sounds silly, but it works. Fluency comes from familiarity, not fancy words. Let's lighten the mood with your joke trio. The early bird gets the worm, but you're not a bird and you hate worms. Getting ready in the morning is just speed-running disappointment. Socks always vanish like they're in witness protection. Speaking of socks, did you know the longest sock ever knitted was over 7 feet long? Guinness World Record. No one knows why. Historians, thankfully, don't argue about this one. They just shake their heads. Let's shift gears. As you walk or wait for your ride, you can use that moment to repeat vocabulary. Shirt, pants, shoes, bag, keys, phone, wallet. You can chant it like a checklist. Phone, wallet, keys, go. It's a useful ritual and bonus listening practice if you say it with rhythm. Here's your phrase of the day. I did my best. Use it when your hair is messy. Use it when your outfit screams chaos. Use it when you forget to pack lunch. Because honestly, you did your best. And your best in English is getting better every single day. Before we wrap this section, try this. Tomorrow morning, put sticky notes on your stuff. Label your mirror, you got this. Label your door, let's go. Label your shoes, right foot, and other right foot. Little reminders make a big difference. English is about frequency, not perfection. Every shoe tie and coffee sip is an opportunity to speak. You're no longer just getting ready, you're building fluency, one sock at a time.
You step outside, and boom, reality hits you like a surprise pop quiz. The world is loud, busy, and full of smells that make you question your life choices. Welcome to the commute. Whether you're walking, biking, riding a motorbike, or wedged between strangers on a bus, this part of the day is perfect for, you guessed it, more English. You glance at the traffic. It's busy today, you mutter. Good, that's a complete sentence. Then you see a car nearly miss a cyclist and say, that was close. You're not just reacting, you're practicing. That's your morning mission now. As you walk or ride, you can start building what I call commuter commentary. Think of yourself as the narrator of your own journey. You say, I'm on my way. There's the bus stop. The light is red. Simple, real, functional. It's like turning your daily chaos into a language learning podcast starring you. Now here's your mainstream historical fact. The London Underground, aka the Tube, was the world's first metro system. Opened in 1863, it used steam trains. Yep, imagine commuting underground while choking on hot smoke. Historians still argue whether that first ride was thrilling or a near-death experience wrapped in soot. Meanwhile, you're in 2025. Lucky you. You probably have headphones and deodorant. Let's build some modern commuter phrases. This bus is full. I missed my train. There's no signal down here. And the classic, excuse me, the international code for let me through, I need to survive this. Now here's a quirky tidbit. In Sweden, there's a word fika that means a coffee break with friends, usually mid-morning. But more than that, it's an excuse to pause, to slow down, to connect. Think about that on your commute. Maybe English isn't just about movement. Maybe it's about small pauses too. Let's get visual. You see people around you. A woman with a huge bag equals she looks stressed. A guy in a suit on a scooter equals he's in a hurry. A kid singing into a baguette? That's adorable. Use your imagination. Even if you don't say it out loud, narrate it in your head in English. And here come your 3 jokes, because commutes without humor are just human suffering on wheels. Every bus ride is a game of guess that smell. If your train is on time, take a photo. No one will believe you. Traffic lights only turn green when you stop looking at them. Back to you. You're checking your phone for directions. Try this phrase. Where am I going? Don't worry if you've lived in the same city for 12 years. Say it anyway. It's part of the drama. Follow it with, I'm almost there. I'll be late. I hate traffic. These phrases aren't fancy, but they're real. They're alive. That's the kind of English that sticks. Let's level up. Try giving short directions aloud. Go straight. Turn left. Cross the street. Great for both practice and surviving new cities. Oh, and if you ever visit New York, just know that asking for directions might get you 12 different answers and maybe a life story or 2. Historians still debate whether locals give wrong directions on purpose or just for fun. Now let's do some listening practice. Tune in to the world around you. A dog barking? Say, the dog is loud. Honking horn? Someone's angry. Siren in the distance? That's an ambulance. Describe everything. Make your mind a radio station. And if you're on a train or bus, play this game. Narrate what people are doing in English, but gently. She's reading a book. He's sleeping. They're arguing about something. You're not being nosy, you're being educational. That's your story, and you're sticking to it. Phrase of the day. Almost there. This one carries hope, momentum, a sense of nearly arriving, even if your bus breaks down 2 blocks later. As the journey winds down, your brain might be a little tired. That's okay. Whisper this. I'm learning every day.
I understand more than yesterday. I'm doing this. These aren't just affirmations, they're truth. Real progress hides in daily repetition, in small words spoken on noisy sidewalks. You reach your stop. You step off. The day begins. But your English, that already started the moment you stepped out your front door.
You finally arrive at work, or school, or wherever your daily grind takes you, and you take a deep breath. You survived the commute. That deserves a trophy, or at least a donut. But there's no time for snacks yet. Now comes the part where you have to sound polite, awake, and vaguely professional, even if your soul is still dragging itself across the floor. First phrase of the day, good morning. Say it like you mean it, even if your eyes say send help. In English-speaking countries, this greeting is like a password. You don't skip it unless you want to look like a sleep-deprived vampire. You enter the office and someone asks, "How are you?" Now, don't panic. This is often just a formality, not a full therapy session. Smile and say, "I'm good, thanks. You?" Or mix it up with, "Not bad. Can't complain." Or the slightly sarcastic, "living the dream." It works, even if you're clearly not. You sit down at your desk and glance at the computer. "Let's do this," you whisper like a soldier entering battle. Another phrase that works here, "I've got a lot to do." Or the ever-relatable, "I'm not ready for this." Let's now talk about the classic office small talk. English thrives on it. Weather is always safe. "Nice weather today." "Did you see the rain this morning?" Why do English speakers talk about weather so much? Well, historians still argue whether it's because of the unpredictable skies or just because nobody wants to talk about feelings before 10 a.m. Now for your quirky fact. In 18th century England, workplaces had something called complaint desks. Yes, an actual desk where workers could vent. Unfortunately, no one actually read the complaints. They were just collected and ignored, like forgotten Christmas cards. Still, oddly satisfying. Back to you. Your coworker asks for help. You nod and say, "Sure, no problem." Or, if you're low on energy but still polite, "Let me check." And if you have no clue what's happening, "I'll look into it." That one's gold. It sounds responsible while buying you time to Google everything. Here's a fun trick. Repeat work-related actions out loud, quietly if you're shy. "I'm replying to an email." "I'm writing a report." "I'm pretending to understand this spreadsheet." This helps your brain connect action with vocabulary. Plus, it makes work 10% more fun. Don't forget to joke with yourself. Here are your daily 3. My inbox has more drama than a soap opera. I clicked reply all and now I need a new identity. I've had meetings that could have been emails, and emails that could have been silence. Speaking of meetings, here's some survival English. Let's get started. Can you repeat that? I have a question. What's the deadline? Try practicing these quietly during your next long, boring Zoom call. Trust me, it'll make the time pass faster. Also, don't be afraid to ask questions in English. It's powerful. Use these. "What does this mean?" "How do I do this?" "Can you show me?" These are real-life tools, not just textbook examples. Let's get historical again. The first corporate office building was the East India House in London, built in the 1700s. It had wooden desks, handwritten memos, and likely zero fun. Historians still debate whether it was more efficient than today's Slack notifications and coffee breaks. If you're working from home, congrats! You can wear pajamas and still practice. Just narrate your tasks. "I'm logging in." "I'm joining a call." I'm absolutely not scrolling social media, even if you are. Remember, even boring tasks are opportunities to speak. Say, I'm reading this. I'm typing that. I need a break. Which leads us perfectly into what's next, the holy grail of the modern workday, the coffee break. But before we go there, here's your power phrase of the day. I can handle this. It's the adult version of I've got this and the polite version of let me survive, please. So, whether you're buried in emails, dealing with customers, or just pretending to look busy, your English is getting sharper, stronger, smoother. You're not just surviving your workday, you're turning it into language fuel, one polite reply at a time.
You check the clock and see it. That glorious moment. Break time. Sweet, blessed break time. Whether it's 5 minutes or 20, this is your chance to breathe, maybe stretch a little, and, yep, practice some casual English. You walk to the break room, cafe, or just stare out a window pretending to be in a movie. Either way, your mind is ready to switch into small talk mode. Let's start with the king of casual conversations. How's it going? That's not a trap. It's just English people being friendly. You can answer, pretty good. Same old, same old. Can't complain. Or if you're feeling extra cheeky, ask me after coffee. Now you're in line for a drink. You glance at the person beside you and muster a quiet, busy today, huh? Boom, you've just entered the small talk arena. It's awkward, it's strange, but it's surprisingly important. English culture values these little exchanges. It's how you bond without getting too deep too fast. You finally get your coffee or tea. You take that first sip and say, that's better. Yes, even if it tastes like despair and printer ink, say it anyway. Let's sprinkle in your 3 humor hits. Coffee, turning people into humans since forever. My favorite coworker is whoever brings snacks. If you microwave fish in the break room, may the English gods judge you. Ready for a quirky tidbit? In Finland, there's a word, päiväkahvit. It means day coffee, and it's a daily tradition. They take their breaks seriously, like legally seriously. Some Finnish workers get contracts that include mandatory coffee breaks. Historians still argue whether this is brilliant labor policy or just very polite addiction. Back to you. You sit down with a friend, or maybe it's just you and your sandwich, and you start practicing descriptions. This is good. My tea is hot. This croissant is flaky. Not exactly Shakespeare, but it's real, and real language is powerful. Someone walks in and says, "Want a cookie?" You smile and say, "No thanks, I'm good." Or if you're hungry, "Sure, thanks." Both are polite, short, and versatile. Also, always accept cookies. That's just good life advice. Here's another mini English upgrade, adding polite refusal phrases. I'd love to, but maybe later. I'm watching my sugar. These give you social grace without sounding like a robot. Now let's go historical for a moment. Did you know the term coffee break became popular in the US during World War II? Factory managers noticed that giving workers a short break actually improved productivity and, more importantly, kept people from falling asleep on the job. Historians still debate whether the real motivation was kindness or caffeine dependency. You glance at your phone again. The break's almost over. But before it ends, here's a great speaking trick. Describe your surroundings. The table is messy. The chairs are blue. It's noisy in here. Even just naming things like mug, window, light, or snack helps reinforce vocabulary. You take another sip and think, "This is nice." You say, "I needed this," or maybe, "Back to work soon." That's transition language, preparing your brain to switch gears again. Let's throw in a little vocabulary quiz. Say these out loud. What do you drink in a coffee shop? What's the opposite of cold tea? What's a sweet treat you might share? How do you say no politely in English? Answers: coffee, hot, cookie or cake, no thanks, or maybe later. Let's do one more challenge. Try complimenting someone, real or imaginary. Nice shirt. Cool mug. That looks tasty. Compliments are like social currency, and in English, they're used generously, even if we're dead tired inside. Now it's time to stand up, stretch, and return to whatever chaos awaits. Before you do, whisper this: "I'm ready to focus." Say it with a nod, even if your brain disagrees. Because in the few quiet minutes between meetings and tasks, you just did something amazing. You relaxed, you recharged, and you practiced. Not just English, but the art of showing up. One cookie, one phrase, one quiet moment at a time.